why my gas mileage is probably the way that it is. So we're switching up the spot. It's not the usual spot. Look at this, guys. We got these nice poles. I think they usually have flags on them, but here, you know, since we're going to record today, they decided to not have any flags. But anyway, guys, if you guys are even considering gas mileage and you're looking at buying one of these, if you're factoring it into the cost and how much you're going to be spending on getting one of these, then it's probably not going to be the right idea for you to do it right now, just based on that. Now, I get you're probably just wondering, because that's kind of what I did when I was purchasing this. I was definitely obviously wondering what the gas mileage was going to be like, if it was going to be actually as awful as people say, or if it was going to be a lot better than people say. Now, the biggest thing with it is going to be how you drive. It's completely dependent on you at the end of the day. If you're going to be driving in track mode, you're going to get much lower than if you're driving in sport mode, and much lower than if you're going to be driving in eco mode. Now, you do have an eco mode on the Scat Pack. I think some of the other ones might not have an eco mode, like the Daytonas or something. I'm not sure. I know they don't have track mode, I think. But if you guys are going to be driving in eco mode all the time, then for one, it's not going to have as much power, so you're not going to be using as much gas, but overall, you're not going to be having as much fun. So that's where you got to kind of value what you want. If you want the gas mileage, or if you want the fun and the sound and just everything that it is, because there's nothing like a miles per gallon vehicle, and you know that's where you're going to get in a V8, a V10, V12, whatever you guys get, then you're obviously going to be looking into those miles per gallon versus the miles per gallon, which personally I think is the way to go. If you can afford it, go ahead and do it. I think you guys will be extremely happy driving something like this. If you guys are going from, maybe you have a Jeep and you want to upgrade, you know, get the SRT Jeep or whatever it may be, it has the same engine as this, and it's going to be getting, I would say, similar gas mileage on the SRT Jeeps, because it does have the same engine, but you do have like a little bit more of a body and like wind resistance and all that kind of stuff that's going to factor in. Another thing that's going to factor in is your wheels and your tires. Now, mine has the 245s down here, so they're 245, 45, 20s. So if you were to be running something ridiculous like 20s, or just really, really wide, beefy, thick tires and wheels, that might drop your gas mileage just a tiny bit. It's not really going to be super noticeable, especially in this, because you have such low gas mileage as it is. You guys are probably expecting me to be like, oh yeah, in this I'm getting like maybe 8 to 10 miles per gallon. I think the lowest that I've seen it was around 11 when I first bought it, and that's because I was just ripping it all the time, and I think you guys would do the same, and most people will do the same. So that's kind of where the gas mileage is going to come in as an issue. If you're in track mode all the time and you're flooring it, if you're in sport mode and you're flooring it, I'll show you guys a little clip here in a second where I floor it down this little strip, and you guys will see that the gas mileage meter drops all the way down to like about 2 or 3 miles per gallon. But if you guys are just coasting, sport mode can actually work really, really well for you guys. Now, I've heard people getting 25, 30, even 30 plus, like 31, 32 in the 392, in the Scat Pack, the Daytona, you know, those kinds of things, all with the 392 engine. I've heard that they were getting around 30 on long trips. Now, I haven't heard this just from one person. I've heard this from like 5, 6, maybe 7 people who have said that they got over 25 miles per gallon in the 392 V8 Scat Pack, not even in eco mode, in sport mode, which is kind of ridiculous to me when I think about it at the end of the day, because that's a lot of gas mileage, and that's way more than I ever got in my Jeep. So if you guys haven't seen my previous videos and you don't know anything about the channel here, I had a V6 Jeep Grand Cherokee that I did a bunch of stuff to, and that's kind of where the channel grew from, and then we have upgraded here to the 392 2021 Dodge Charger Scat Pack. So in my V6 Jeep, I was getting between like roughly 14 and maybe like 18. It depends where I drive. Obviously, that's another thing, driving conditions. So if you are driving this car in the city, it's gonna tank, and I would say you're probably gonna be close to that 10-12 range, and that's kind of a little bit iffy depending. But if you guys are going to be driving in anywhere where it's open and you're in kind of like country areas, highways, stuff like that, you guys can easily be pushing 20 plus, I would say, in sport mode. It's just a matter of how heavy you are on the pedal, really. And me personally, I got it straight piped, of course. Pretty much the cats are still on there for now. I'm pretty much flooring it all the time, like not all the time, but like every time I'm driving, there's a lot of times that I'm flooring it. Obviously, you guys can see the ground is wet. It did rain today, so this is a time where I'm not going to floor it as much, because this thing slides everywhere, especially with these 245s. Plus, I don't even know what brand these are. They're a Goodyear Eagle or something. They're awful. Would not recommend them at all. And plus, we're going to be going into winter, so flooring it might be going down, which means gas mileage is going up, baby. So now let me hop inside here and actually show you guys a good view of the dashboard. We go ahead and start it up here. You guys will be able to see on the dash as I go down here, our average was 13.9. I don't know how far that goes. It says hold okay to reset, but it doesn't tell me how far back that goes. But if I go to my trip here, you guys can see just over 1,500 miles. and it's an average of 13.6 miles per gallon. Now, like I said, if I was going for a long trip, then that's gonna go up. If I'm just driving around in the city, driving around on the highway, you know, where there might be some traffic and stuff, just locally, then that's gonna be kind of where it's at, right? So I've seen that average over the past 1,500 miles go up and down over and over again, pretty much every single time that I drive. It changes, goes up, it goes down, it moves around, it does pretty much whatever it wants to do. But 13.6 average is pretty similar to what I was getting on a V6 Jeep Grand Cherokee with 22-inch wheels and tires. So power, speed, loud, fun, fast, aggressive looking for like the same gas mileage. So I would say on average, with just an average day of driving, I'm getting between like 14 and 16. So I always average it out to around 15 miles per gallon that I'm getting, because sometimes I'm on the highway, sometimes I'm just cruising around. And also one thing that's going to factor into it, of course, is idling. So if you guys start your car with your remote start, that's going to tank your gas mileage. I do that a lot just to heat it up and get it warmed up before I go drive it. Just look how beautiful it looks just sitting there. Ooh. It's looking good. It's coming together, boys. It's all blacked out right now. Not what we want. Not what we want. It's gonna change. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Stay tuned on the channel if you haven't already subscribed. Click the subscribe button so you guys can stay up to date with the videos that are gonna be coming out with the Scat. Because I have some pretty big things in the next few weeks, and it should change a lot. Just a little hint. It should change a lot. But if you guys are watching this and you have a Jeep SRT with the 392 engine, if you guys have a Charger, Challenger, anything like that where you have the 392 engine, I want you guys to let me know down in the comment section below what you guys are getting for an average gas mileage and what kind of environment you're driving in, whether you're driving in city or you're more a highway driver, because I want to know and see how I stack up and compared to other people, because I feel like 15 miles to the gallon is pretty much a fair amount to say with this, and I think it's really probably not that bad, you know. Like, I'm sure there's people in the city that are flooring it all the time and they're getting way worse gas mileage, so I feel like 15 is pretty good for a V8. Personally, I had a truck before and I was getting between 10 and 12, and it didn't even have like a huge lift or anything on it. It just had like a leveling kit and some, I want to say like 33s. It wasn't even 35s, and yeah, it was awful on gas mileage. So for this to be getting these numbers, it's really, really good to me and really impressive. I'm wondering the differences between like the 2021 and like previous like 2018, 2019, you know, that kind of stuff, like Daytonas and stuff like that, because they have changed some stuff. So I'm wondering how like the eco modes have changed and stuff like that, if it kind of affects the gas mileage, and if it on startup and stuff and idle, it's saving gas. A lot of times I'll take this with my girlfriend, we'll just go for a drive or whatever, go sit somewhere, and we'll just be in the car talking for like a few hours, just hanging out, whatever, eating pizza, and the car's just running. So if the car's sitting there idling, and that'll obviously tank your gas mileage. But like I said, I haven't had any complaints as far as gas mileage goes, which is really, really impressive for me. Now I'm gonna come back to this video in a year, not even a year, we'll do it within the next year, 6 months to a year. I'll come back to this video, post another one, and we'll see what my gas mileage is at then. Also where the car is at, because I'm sure it's going to change a lot between now and then, and I wonder how that's going to affect my gas mileage. We'll see what it's going to be at in about a year, because right now I'm sitting about roughly 15, so within the next year we'll come back and touch on that. But that's going to be all for this video, guys. If you did enjoy, make sure you smash that like button down below, help the YouTube algorithm, help this video out to more people, and of course help the channel grow. On that same note, if you're not already subscribed, click the subscribe button down below right now. What are you doing? Just click it right now so you can be notified when new videos go live. New videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. here on the channel. Of course, check out Shop Lifestyle. I'm definitely not wearing a Shop Lifestyle merch shirt right now, but check it out, top link in the description. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.